There are two types of engineers that I see literally every single day. One of those engineers is constantly playing catch up, feeling overwhelmed, and just watching new technologies fly past them. This is that engineer where it's like low key, you can't teach the old dog new tricks. And the other one, they're just consistently making it look effortless. They're constantly leveling up. They're always putting themselves forward. And it just seems that their career is just continuously to blossom and grow and blah, blah, blah. And truthfully, the difference between those two engineers, it's not talent, it's not time or energy, it is tiny habits that they are using and compounding over a long period of time, and that is making massive growth. And in this video, we're gonna dive into exactly how you become that second engineer, the one who's going through the effortless growth periods in their career, who's having fun, who's making it look cool to be a software engineer. So let's dive in. Look, before we dive into the how, I think we need to take a step back and talk about the why. And if it's not obvious to you already, your growth is not linear. I think a lot of us think that we have this trajectory where it continuously goes up and up and over to the right. But the reality is that your growth compounds. And just like compound interest in your bank account, every little tiny bit of knowledge that you add in today and you add in tomorrow, all of those, while maybe small today, make a massive change in the future. And if you're not fully bought into the idea of compounding knowledge here, let me just offer you this new perspective. You see, the gap between a great and a good engineer is not talent, and it's not even their experience, but it's their ability to stack little wins on top of each other and build that base, that foundation, and keep leveling up from there. They're not starting from zero every time. They're actually taking a little win here, a little win there. Now I have a medium-sized win. They get a medium win, they add it on top. I have a large win now. You know what I'm trying to say here. They are not starting over every time. They're taking their little victories and they're adding on in a continuous growth way. Like thinking back in my own career, I remember time being in college when I first learned about a for loop. For loops were incredible. You kind of felt like you were on top of the world, like you could build anything. They were challenging, they were exciting, they were fun. You could make them super complex. Don't even get me started about nested for loops. Oh my goodness, right? But look where you are now. You're writing complex algorithms without even thinking about it. Especially, that we're having ChatGPT and Copilot and those things help us, but we're working through so much greater things than what we were doing before. And it's not that you were smarter, but it's because that you have maybe subconsciously used those little wins, those little victories, those little nuggets of knowledge and just kind of stacked one on top of each other. This is like the natural level up progression. But here's the shitty thing about being a knowledge worker. You see, if you do not continue to learn something new every day, if you think that you're just gonna coast for a little while, newsflash for you, you're not. There's no such thing as coasting in our field. It just means that you're declining. You are not coasting, you're going down. So this is to say that if you want to be that second engineer, if you want to go chase bigger and better things, you need to start today. You need to start compounding now. Tiny little habits every day, continuous learning every day. And I promise you, if you implement those things now, they will be worth 10 times more in a couple years. And speaking of habits, truthfully, this is something over the years that I have really struggled with. I'm thinking back to that same college day where I'm learning the for loop, and quite truthfully, I felt laser focused. I felt like I had really, really strong habits. And truth is, I just don't think I had a lot going on. I think I had good habits, but they were not certainly great habits. And now I have a 9-to-5, I have a wife, I have kids, I'm building side products, I'm trying to do the content creation thing, all of these things. And truth be told, my habits right now are not that great. And that's what's nice about making these videos, because they are reminders to myself that me too, I still need to work on myself, on my personal journey, on my personal growth to make stronger habits, to build up that mental fitness. So here is what you can do if you want to follow along with me. The biggest habit building secret that I've used in the past, and I'm going to start using again, is to start so ridiculously small that it seems silly. Start so small that it's impossible not to do it. Let's say you want to build up the habit of just exercising more. Like maybe your New Year's goal here coming soon is that you want to run a 5K, which is amazing. I really encourage you to do it. They're a lot of fun. But let's say you suck at keeping a habit of running or at least walking, doing something. One of the ways that you can start so ridiculously small that it seems silly is, no shit, go park on the other end of the parking lot at the grocery store and just walk a little further into the store. Start building and placing conscious actions. And like I said, something so ridiculously small that it seems silly, but these tiny habits build that muscle. And maybe it seems silly, but think of this. One of the biggest early race sign-up days is when there is a sign-up booth at the end of a current race. If you've ever done an Ironman, if you've ever done a Tough Mudder or a Spartan race, you'll know when you get to the finish line, you get your medal, you get your free snacks and your swag, and then you go sign up for your next race. Maybe it's a dopamine rush. Maybe you're feeling good. But it just goes to say that when you're going through challenges, when you're building habits, it's much easier to want and desire to do bigger and better things. And the best way to start is to start so ridiculously small that it seems silly and that it's impossible to say no. And now look, I hope some of y'all might have gotten motivated and maybe some of y'all are going to take action. And all of these things sound amazing in theory, but it's hard and things will come up. And maybe you have kids, maybe you're a parent, maybe you're a spouse, you're going to have other responsibilities. Maybe you are chasing your dreams on your 5 to 9 after working your 9 to 5. So here's a no bullshit way on how I keep myself accountable and actually get through what I need to get through. For some of you, gonna sound so silly, and maybe for some of you, you're gonna think, oh, this is stupid. But this is one of the things that is proven for me to work over and over and over again. And that is to have a sticky note on my desk. Yes, just a sticky note that says one single thing on it. And it's, did you learn one damn thing today? And maybe that's a little harsh, but it's true. Just one thing. What is one single thing that you learned today? And as we grow through these technical fields, that's exactly what it is. Building tiny habits, learning one new thing every day. Subscribe to that podcast and listen to it during a walk in the middle of the day. It is the tiny things that you're doing today that 5 years from now, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I am so much better of a person, of a developer, as an engineer, and it's a game changer. It's what you're doing today that is setting you up for success tomorrow. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it sucks at first. It's not easy. You have to make some sacrifices. Delete the mobile games off your phone. Unsubscribe from the YouTube channels that aren't serving you, except for mine, obviously. And do other little ridiculously small things like make your Chrome homepage, your default page, whatever documentation of the tool that you're wanting and desiring to learn. Give yourself these little wins and stack them up consistently. And in my experience, the best way to hold yourself accountable and to start seeing real change is to talk about what you're doing in public. It is to join the different communities and groups that you can sit and hang out with like-minded people. And if that's of interest to y'all, I want you to check out the top link down below and join our free developer community. We're growing. It is still a smaller community, but we're having a lot of fun. There's a lot of really meaningful conversation happening, and I hope that it gets bigger and better through the next year. So go on, pick one thing that you're going to do today. Write the sticky note that says, what's the one damn thing you learned today? And go and have fun. Because at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, you're in the wrong career. And maybe that's a different conversation. So go on, do something amazing. I love y'all. See you next week. Peace.